Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am at the Amari Bar going live. I was just talking to Vladimir, who's one of the bartenders over here. He just made me an Amalfi Martini. The bad thing, cruising out of New York, is the Cheers package doesn't kick in until tomorrow. So I'm paying for the drinks today, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. That's New York rules. But yeah, it's really cool to be on the ship. I've wanted to come on the Venezia for a long time and check it out. I mean, obviously, it's new to the Carnival fleet since last year, and yeah, it's exciting to be on board. I will tell you, it is a new experience because everything is so different. You know, the layout. It is a Vista class ship, so. And I see I only have one bar on Wi-Fi. I had two bars, which I thought this would be a safe thing. So hopefully I'm not going to get disconnected or anything. But obviously, immediately upon walking on the ship, you have the atrium, which is the same size as what you'd see on a Vista class ship. But no LCD columns or anything, but it's a beautiful marble with the white columns, and it looks really cool. And then after walking around, you know, the Lido deck, I would say is a little bit cumbersome. It's a little bit small. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of bars, a lot of restaurants, and we did eat dinner in the what do you call it? The restaurant that has the gondola in the middle of the floor or whatever. I took some video and a couple pictures of that, so you'll be sure to see that on a future video covering the Venezia. And did the sailway party earlier. Now, I will tell you this. I had one of my worst experiences, probably the worst experience in boarding the ship today. Now, the New York City ports, I'll tell you this. I mean, normally you hear me, I'm pretty complimentary of Carnival for the most part. I try to keep it all positive, but it was a train wreck today at the New York City port. I mean, we got dropped off and, you know, had to walk in everything. And I remember taking video of a large group of people just waiting and saying, oh, glad I'm Diamond, you know, glad we're able to walk past all this. And then we walked past the next thing. We went through a couple things. The dog sniffed the luggage, all that stuff. And then, you know, we thought we were good to board. Well, they hadn't checked our passports or paperwork yet. So they point us to a line and they say, oh, this is the priority line. And I'm used to the priority diamond line being really fast, really quick, and you get in and you're in and out of it in no time. It was super long, and so long that I thought, this can't be priority. They put us in, you know, like the regular line or whatever. No, it was priority. And the regular line was just ridiculous. Turns out the system had shut down. So their computer systems weren't up. So everything just came to a standstill. And it was just a big backup. And it took forever for the system to come back up. And the thing that I said was bad about some of the people running the operation outside of New York is most of the other Carnival ports I've gone to, I'm very happy with. You know, even if something goes wrong, it seems like most of the employees that work in the port areas know what other people's jobs are. And the people that worked in the New York City port, it seemed like almost every person, and they knew what they were supposed to do at their station. They knew what their job was. But if you asked a question like, hey, where do I go for this? Hey, where do I go for that? They had no idea. They weren't able to answer questions about what was going on. It was, and it seems like other ports, like, I don't know if they rotate the workers, but they seem to know where everything else is and what the job is that they're supposed to do, plus other people's jobs in case they were to get switched. So that was a little gripe there. I mean, it wasn't the end of the world, but I know Andrew from Funnelheads, he just got off the Venezia today, so we just missed him. But now I want to say hello to everybody. Justin won the gold again today. He was first to check in. Then we had DC Brother gets the silver today, it looks like. Yep. And Sean was third up and asked a really good question. If you want to scroll back up, he asked a question about, does doing the coach crew stuff on ships hinder the experience or or help with the experience. And it's a double-sided answer. I mean, it hinders from the standpoint of, like I shared in the answer with Sean, when I'm filming stuff, like if I'm filming deck parties and things like that, well, obviously I'm not able to actually participate in the deck parties, or at least not while I'm filming, right? So maybe I can film for a short time and then join the party, or like shows that I'm filming, things like that. I'm watching the show through the camera a lot of times. Now, sometimes I just need short little clips or short little segments, and then I have enough for what I need to make the vlogs and stuff. But then sometimes, like if I'm watching Celestial Strings, I'm waiting to catch that perfect moment. So I'm recording, almost the whole show, and then I go through and I edit the best little 10-second clips I have, and things like that. So yeah, it hinders it from that perspective. But as I said, since the start of this channel, I've met so many of you out there that are just amazing people, and it's been worth every bit of it times 100. So definitely overall, I wouldn't trade it for anything. But in terms of individually enjoying it, as much as you could, probably hinders a little bit. So that would be the answer to that question. For those of you that didn't see the answer to that question, we have Boss Hoopa saying hi from Raleigh. Then Frankie Floyd, who is one of our regulars. Great to see you as always, Frankie. He is here. J&T Adventures was next up, followed by Ken Pascal. Welcome both. Nick Norell is back once again. He's here, Coach, and I'm glad you are, Nick. Bless Nettie. Great to see you as always. We got Liz and Chris from Carnival Cruise Addicts. Great to see you. And there's Yoli. And hope you both have a wonderful time. I'm sure we will, Yoli. I mean, I'm looking forward. 2 of the stops are Half Moon Cay. Haven't been there in a long time. And then what's the other one? Oh, Grand Turk. Grand Turk's always one of my favorite ones. And then Amber Cove. I mean, I'm tired of Amber Cove, but I booked an excursion that we haven't done. So I'm hoping that excursion will be really good, and it got good reviews, so we'll see. Ann is back once again. Great to see you back, Ann. Will G back once again as well. Great to see you, Will G. Carnival Cruise has funnel hits on the ship with you. No, they just left this morning. As a matter of fact, Andrew messaged me this morning, and he's like, hey, I'm about to get off the ship, and I was asking what he thought. He said, the design, the layout wasn't so good, but the ship was hot. He said Mark Q was awesome. So, got a few tidbits from him on things. And Mandy and I just talked via Messenger yesterday because she is going to run her own bar crawl on the Mardi Gras coming up in about a week or so. Linda Ward Stewart, I'm cruising on it in January 2025 out of Port in Orlando. Well, Linda, stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed because I will have a bunch of vlogs and videos from within the ship. I plan on interviewing the cruise director, Mark Q. I don't know if he'll be the cruise director when you're on, but probably. So yeah, definitely make sure you are subscribed and have that notification bell turned on. Sandy, the Lost Pirate Jenkins, is back once again. Great to see you as always, Sandy. Beached in Texas is back. Beached in Texas, I was on the Horizon just 2 days ago. Got off. And spent one extra day in Miami and then flew up here last night. And so here I am. Orange Cone Vlog, almost a back-to-back or a side-to-side. It says, saying hi to everybody. We have Mr. Cruise Fever, #1. Hello to you, Mr. Cruise Fever. Great to see you. And let's see, we have Melissa Grice. Great to see you, Melissa. T-Boat on the Go is back. Great to see you, T-Boat. And Lee is going on the Venezia. He will be replacing Mark Q for one contract at least. And I believe he starts in August or maybe late July. So I'm just going to miss him. And by the way, I have the Amalfi Martini that Vladimir made for me. And I am in the Amari bar. I could turn the camera around so you can see. I'll turn my computer around rather. So you can kind of see. Yeah, there he is. So there is Vladimir. He made that for me. And the Amalfi Martini, if you're interested, says fresh, bright, and happy like sunshine on the Amalfi Coast with Stoli citrus vodka, limoncello, Bottega Limoncino, and lemon juice. And if you're not on the Cheers package, like I'm not today because we're coming out of New York and they got one of those weird rules like Texas where the first day you can't do the Cheers package. So it's $15. So it's a little pricey if you're not on the Cheers package. But tomorrow, these will be free. But I wanted to have at least one drink for the show. So, and it's good. I'll probably order it again. I mean, it's not the best drink I've ever had, but it's pretty good. Yoli says 11 days to go till we're on the Jubilee. They're going to be on 4th of July. I remember that, Yoli. Is that a fake alchemy? Well, here, you know what? Let me show you. So they have Alchemy Bar favorites. So here is the menu. So you see the cucumber sunrise rum on there, spicy chipotle martini, the remedy, perfect storm, which is a really good drink, and martini seduction. So you still have your Alchemy Bar drinks, and then you have the Italiana drinks over here. And the Amalfi Martini is the one that I'm trying, and I'll probably try a couple of those other ones as well. So you get kind of a little bit of the both, you know. So I mean, and that's what I've noticed throughout the ship on the Venezia is you kind of get a taste of both. There's still some Carnival favorites, but then there's also, you know, a lot of different variety of things that you can try on the Venezia. So yeah, I mean, you get a little bit of both. So if that makes any sense. And yeah, so let's see. I wanted to talk about yesterday flying up from Miami and going to New York. A couple of you saw me go live on Facebook from Times Square. We were super close to Times Square, just, you know, like a half a mile walk away or whatever. So I was able to walk down, bought some food off a street cart, and did a little filming there right in the middle of Times Square. And that was really cool. I mean, I don't know, at least I know I've been to Times Square before, but I don't think I was at night like that and able to get, you know, really good video and everything. So I hope that video comes out well. But it was a good experience to get down there in Times Square in the middle of the night. I think it was like 10:30 at night, and obviously it was packed. So it was really cool. And we stayed at a place called the Pearl Hotel. Really nice hotel, really nice room. If that's a place that, you know, if you want to come to Venezia and stay at a hotel, I mean, you know, they didn't give any kind of discount or anything. So I guess it's whatever rate. But I will say it was a really nice hotel. Small, but really nice. If you want to look into that. I already talked about the chaos at the port. It was really bad. It took so long to get on. The system was down, and the only people that were getting on the ship were people that got there really early to check in and get their whole paperwork done. And so when they were calling off the names, they went, you know, I mean, the groups, they went through, you know, Diamond and Suites obviously was the first one. And then they just rifled through pretty much the whole list. They had gone through the D boarding group, all through 14 levels of the D boarding group. And there's some family back here screaming and yelling as they're taking pictures, if you hear that background noise. And so before we even got the system back up and our paper stamped and stuff, you know, pretty much everybody, they had exhausted everybody that had already checked in. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. A couple more people. Wow. Oh my God. I'm going to have to try to talk over that. I'm gonna have to be a little louder here. Let's see. Melissa, yeah, it's pretty yummy. T-boat on the go. What did I eat today? Anything good? T-boat, you know, my stomach was a little upset. I got a wee bit of a cold or something. You know, not much of one. It's gotten progressively better. So I mostly ate salad for lunch. And for dinner, they had some really good appetizers. They had like a crawfish something that was really good. And what else did I eat? A lamb pasta dish with lamb over the top of it. That was pretty good. So, yeah, it was pretty good. I didn't eat any dessert or anything, but haven't eaten too much, like I said. The food cart yesterday was really good. They have some kebab type sandwiches and then lamb over rice and stuff. That was really good. Let's see. Natasha, what is going on? Valerie is here also. Valerie Hopkins, good to see you. And Ben is back from my Wisconsin neighbor. What's going on, Ben? And by the way, I see we're up to 30 people so far already. If you have not already hit the like button on the channel, please do that. And while I'm thinking about it, could you please, somebody in the comments, tell me if you're hearing me okay? Because it's getting a lot louder. When I first sat down here, it was just Vladimir and one other person, a young lady I met named Cammie from Maryland. We were the only 3 people here. And then now it's obviously getting a lot louder. So let me know if you can hear me well enough. If you can't hear me, then I will try to move to somewhere. Okay, Valerie says, hear you great. All right, so cool. I just feel like there's a lot of background noise. I wanted to make sure. All right, so the bars. One of the things I'm looking forward to the most about Venezia is I shared the menu. If you just came on, you may not have seen it, but you know, you have some Alchemy favorites, and you could probably, it's like the Alchemy bar. They will make you the drink with the alcohol they have back there, and I'm pretty sure they probably have all the same alcohol that they would have at the Alchemy bar. So you can probably get any Alchemy drink that you want on the ship, and then plus you have the Italiana menu, so you can try some new stuff. Yeah, it did get loud. T-Boat on the go. I think that it is a full ship. I'm pretty sure. And it was so backed up. There was this one older gentleman. I had to go to guest services regarding something on my Wi-Fi not working. And there's a gentleman there, and it was almost 3:30. And he I didn't even know you could do this. Like for rooms that are assigned, I thought all rooms were assigned before you actually got on the ship. But something that he went through, apparently they don't assign or promise to assign you until 3:30 the day that you board. So he didn't even know what room he was going to be in. So he was standing next to me in that guest services. I overheard the conversation. And as of 3:17, he hadn't been assigned a room. And he was pretty hot about it. And the lady's like, well, you know, by the contract, you're not supposed to get it, or we have up until 3:30. And yeah, he was just a little upset. Like I said, older gentleman's probably cruised a lot, but you know, it is what it is. Hopefully he got his room, but I didn't, like I said, I didn't know you could get on the ship and still not have a room. That was a new thing to me. I don't know if any of you knew that, but yeah. So we have Scott here now from Controversial Cruising, and he just got off the Margaritaville. So I think that was a short cruise, but it seemed like they had a lot of fun. I believe you were on with Armstrong Adventures, right, Scott? And so he's on the plane. Oh, wow. You're on the plane watching me, Scott? That's awesome. Okay. Well, hey, gotta love technology, right? You can watch from 6,000 feet above air. Valerie says, I'm pretty sure I missed this information, but where is the Venezia departing from and where are you going? We departed from New York City. And one thing I failed to mention is, you know, cruising out of port in New York City. I mean, I love cruising out of Miami. I always say that's like one of the most beautiful ports to cruise out of because, you know, you see the Miami skyline and the beach and everything, and it's beautiful. But New York is just like a different level because of all the skyscrapers and buildings everywhere. It's just so cool to cruise out of Port of New York City. And then obviously you cruise past the Statue of Liberty, and that's almost worth taking a cruise by itself. Cruising past the Statue of Liberty. We have a balcony, and our balcony was facing the Statue of Liberty. So we're actually able to sit out on the balcony or stand out on the balcony and get great footage of the Statue of Liberty as we were passing it and approaching it and leaving it. So that was really cool. Now, I do know, and I think somebody shared in the comments, that they're going to be going on the Venezia. The Venezia will be relocating. I don't think it's year-round, but at least for part of the year, they're going to be going out of Port Canaveral. And I know they've gone out of a couple other different ports as well. So, but I think New York City, for the most part, has been their home. And yeah, so you have that, and it does depart out of New York City. So Crowded spaces, layout, sailway party. All right, the sailway party was pretty good. Mark Q, he got the crowd into it, but it took him some work, right? He had to really kind of tease people a little bit to get them dancing and get them moving. But he did a great job of doing that. You know, I'll have footage of the cruise day in the next week or so. It's obvious he's a very good cruise director, and I'm really looking forward to sitting down with him and having that interview. So again, stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. But that will be a lot of fun. And what was I going to say? I mean, it is a small area down there in that sailaway party, but I don't know what it was. I don't know if the admins in the couple Facebook groups that were for this cruise were kind of doing something to limit the viewing of the bar crawl, but I was going to do a bar crawl. I still might do one, but I'll be honest, I put it in events and there wasn't the response like I'd normally get. I mean, just on the Horizon, we probably had 50 plus people going on that bar crawl. I mean, most bar crawls I do, that's about the number, 50 or more. And I put it down for the Venezia, and it was like 10 people signed up, and then one of the admins from a page took the event down so people couldn't see it. And I'm like, why are you doing this? So I don't know what the deal was with that, but I may not even do one. I may not even do one for the first time on this particular cruise. We'll see. I don't know, but don't expect a bar crawl video on this particular cruise. I might, and in response to Sean's question, I might just kick back, take it easy, and enjoy that day that I was going to do the bar crawl or do my own little bar crawl. Might do that. So let's see here. We got Cruise Life TV is checked in now. Greg and Michelle says, hello. New York is great. Never sailed out of the seaport, but yeah, like I said, cruising out of this port is a really, really cool thing. And they're just saying hi to everybody else. Okay, now let's switch gears here. We're about a third of the way. Valerie says, what's your thoughts on sailing out of New Orleans? I want to do an Alaskan cruise, which I think it goes, really? There's an Alaskan cruise which goes out of New Orleans? I would be surprised by that. Going out of New Orleans, I love going out of New Orleans because I love the food there, for one. So I always make sure I get down there a day early and really take time to enjoy the city itself of New Orleans. That's like a bonus port. Sometimes you go to ports and the city itself might be, just so, whatever. But in New Orleans, it's a treat to go down there and eat, some grilled oysters, some po' boy sandwiches, some things like that. So love going out of New Orleans. And you get to cruise down the Mississippi River, which is a cool experience as well. So, yeah, I think going out of New Orleans. Now, Valerie, if there's a cruise going to Alaska from New Orleans, I never heard of it. But that would be one heck of a long cruise because, you'd have to cruise obviously all the way up and around the coast to get, that must be like some kind of Journeys cruise. Hadn't heard that. I mean, normally the Alaskan cruises are going out of like San Francisco, Seattle, Vancouver, places like that. So might have to double check on that one, but I'm guessing it doesn't go out of New Orleans. It's just a guess though. All right. Yeah, Will, me. I mean, that might work for me, but yeah, Nita's not the partier, so she's probably gonna is in bed by 9 p.m. most days. So that's unless we did it in the daytime. But yeah, I do plan on doing something like that. So no, not doing. I'm in Louisiana. Oh, you were talking about doing Alaska. Okay. So, Melissa, let me go back and look at your question again. Sorry about that. But Alaska in general, yeah. I mean, I think Alaska is a great destination. I mean, it's just so beautiful there. I mean, I think everybody should at least try Alaska once. A lot of people are scared away by Alaska because they think it's going to be freezing or whatever. Maybe if you go in the very, very early months when the cruising season first opens up. But if you wait until like mid to late June through, the end of August, I mean, it's going to be hot. Like you're going to actually be sweating depending upon the activities that you do. And, in the mornings, maybe you'll need like a hoodie or, some jeans or something like that. But most of the time, again, it depends a little bit on exactly what time you're going. But most of the time, you'll be very comfortable in Alaska, and it's just breathtakingly beautiful. Beautiful. So, highly suggest Alaska. All right. Any other questions here? We got Eric from North Shore Travelers. What's going on, Eric? He's saying hello to everybody. And Orange Cone Vlog, yeah, mid-August. So mid-August, you're going to see the salmon going upstream, all that kind of stuff. That's going to be a really cool experience. All right, let's talk about the Horizon recap. This is going to take most of the rest of the show. And again, for those that came late, so I know Texas is like this. Oh, thank you so much. It's almost like great minds think alike. I was just about to say, Liz and Chris, thank you so much for that. And I will, as you see, I'm about halfway through this one. I'm going to try to make it last the rest of the show so I don't have to get up and leave everybody. But New York, Texas, and I think there's one other one, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But New York and Texas for sure. For whatever reason, the first day, they don't activate the Cheers package. And Liz and Chris, you'll be interested to know this because normally, I get a casino deal, which I did. I got a casino deal, and it said free drinks in the casino. And so I'm like, I told Anita, I said, well, this first day we'll go down to the casino and I'll just get some free drinks down there. And then so I went down and I asked the waiter, I was like, hey, can you check my card, see if we get free drinks? And guy's like, yeah, no, you don't get free drinks. And I'm like, really? I'm like, every casino deal I've been on is giving me free drinks in the casino. And then the casino host, because I was playing the slot machine, Buffalo, which I lost $200 on the Buffalo slot machine. So Liz and Chris, you got to tell me the right machine to go on. I should have done my Wheel of Fortune because that's the one I have luck on, but I didn't see it. And I was just going to sit down there to get a couple free drinks and then go. And then in the meantime, I lost $200. But the casino hostess came by while I was playing and said hi and everything. And I had said, why, am I not getting the drink package? And she said, oh, well, you bought Cheers, so they would go up against each other. I'm just thinking to myself, why can't you give me one day of free drinks in the casino? But I didn't say anything. But that was the reason why I don't have free drinks or didn't get them today. But thank you for that. It says, so the drink package doesn't work yet. Get another one of those drinks you have. LOL. How you doing? Yeah, I'm just doing a live. Thank you. So Norfolk. Is it Norfolk? Okay, I guess Norfolk. I thought we went out of Norfolk. I don't remember that. But, Carnival Cruise Addicts loves the Buffalo. I was playing the Buffalo, and the reason I lost more money, and I forgot to mention I lost 200 in free play also, so really it was like 400. But I wanted to see the video where all the Buffaloes are running and stuff, and I never got to see that. That's probably why I spent as much money. It did the little arrow thing where it was pointing at the Buffaloes, and I'm like, okay, I got that little arrow thing. I know Liz and Chris know what I'm talking about. The rest of you are probably like, what is he babbling about? But I was waiting I wanted the little show of Buffaloes to show up, and then I was going to leave, and I never got it. So Yoli is saying Norfolk is the other place. Yeah, well, Carnival Cruise Addicts, I don't know. I mean, it's only one day, so. And Lord knows I drink enough on the Horizon. That's what I was going to get into in just a little bit here. Cruising Scene is saying, what's up? What's going on, Cruising Scene? Good to see you. Thanks for coming on. And let's see here. Let's get back into the Horizon recap, because I know a lot of people have said, hey, I thought you were on the Horizon. Yeah, just got off the Horizon on Sunday morning. Spent Sunday night in Miami, one extra day, and then Monday evening flew up to New York, got into New York, I don't know, about 9 o'clock or so last night, And like I said, went down to Times Square, and woke up, slept in a little bit, got to the port a little bit late. That might have been why we weren't able to get on the ship right away. But let's go through the ports of Horizon, because I think last week when I talked to you, I pretty much just got on the ship. We only had sea days to that point. But Bonaire, did Bonaire. I shared some footage of, the donkeys coming up to us and everything, just wild donkeys. Aaron, who's normally, on the show or whatever, or, regular or whatever, she was on the cruise as well. So we went out together, and that was a great experience, really was. And there's a couple really nice stops there to take a dip. I mean, the water, just that crystal clear blue, just beautiful. I really had a great time doing that. Got pretty burnt up. I mean, we were both putting sunscreen on, and man, that sun down there in Bonaire was brutal. Even with putting a lot of sunscreen on. So any of you going down to doing the ABC itinerary, do not take that sun for granted. I mean, really make sure you take care of yourself and lather up in that sunscreen, because that Caribbean sun is no joke. Even when you're putting it on pretty regular, it still gets you. So make sure you take care of that. So Bonaire, love Bonaire. It was awesome. Loved it. The next port was Aruba. Now we got to Bonaire, I think about 9 a.m. and we didn't leave till like 9 p.m. So we got like 12 hours in Bonaire, which Bonaire is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but our golf cart had to be back at like 4 or 5 o'clock. So plus we had a full day and in the sun and everything anyway. It's kind of like wanted to get back. So I feel like those 4 or 5 hours were kind of wasted in Bonaire. That could have been spread out in Aruba, for example. So Aruba, we got there at like 7:15 in the morning or something. So, I mean, you had to make sure you went to bed, the evening before early enough that you could get up and you actually enjoy Aruba. So did Aruba, took the public bus, and you can do a $5 round trip ticket in Aruba on a nice air conditioned city bus. Will take you to pretty much any of the beaches, and it's only gonna cost you $5 a person. So if you're looking to save some money on a budget, we went to Arashi Beach, and it cost $250 each, to go to Arashi Beach. So great. The drinks, I will say, at Arashi Beach were expensive because they didn't have any competition. That's one thing that was a little, little dicey or whatever. I mean, the beers were, it wasn't crazy expensive, but it was a little bit bad. It was like $7 for a little 7-8 ounce beer, and then I think $9 for like a 12-ounce beer, and then the drinks were like $14-15, and they were in a cup that wasn't any bigger than this one. So you're paying pretty hefty prices for a beach bar, but it is what it is. I mean, the beach was absolutely taking, like beaches in Aruba, pretty much all beaches. The sand, everything, just absolutely beautiful. So Aruba, another big winner there. And then let's go on next to the Havana area. Now, Sean mentioned earlier about, the show and does it hinder my enjoyment of the ship? Now, here's where having Coach Cruise has helped, because I've made some connections within Carnival, and they don't give me stuff per se, but if there's an opportunity, I can get something at a much better price. So a Havana cabin opened up, and I was able to upgrade for $500. So I got into the Havana area. For those of you that have been in the Vista class ships, if you like just chilling out in the pool with drinks or whatever, it is a very good experience. I mean, because it's not crowded. If you go to the pools on most Carnival ships, I mean, there's so many people in there. Oftentimes there's, kids, understandably, swimming around, kicking water in your face, all that kind of stuff. But not in the Havana area. The Havana areas, it's the youngest child that can be back there is 12 years old. And there actually was a family, Dana and John, and they had a couple kids, and one was 12 years old, but they're very, very mature young lady for a 12-year-old. It wasn't like she was acting crazy or anything, so no problems whatsoever there. And, everybody, it becomes like a small community because you kind of get to know everybody throughout the week. And it's just kind of a lot of fun hanging out. So that was the Havana area. And I will do the Havana area anytime I'm on a Vista class ship if the upgrade isn't too expensive. Actually, Yoli's on here. We're doing the Vista New Year's Eve, and I know she's going to be on there with us. And if the same opportunity presents itself, I would definitely jump on that. But booking the Havana area on its own, it can be a little bit pricey, so you got to be aware of that. So let's see here. Scott says the Wi-Fi on my plane is as reliable as my ex. That's funny. Valerie is dying to get a Havana cabin. It's worth it, Valerie. It's a lot of fun. All right, go to the next port. And again, I'm recapping Horizon now. The Horizon, arguably my favorite ship. It didn't disappoint once again. I'll give you more reasons for that as we go. Now, La Romana is not one of my favorite ports. I have done a really good excursion in La Romana through Civis Tours, but I've done that 2 or 3 times now. And it's just like you can only do it so many times before you're like, I can pass on it this time. So stayed on the ship for most of the day in La Romana, and I did a ship tour. It takes a while to do a ship tour and kind of go through all the different public areas and film it just right and stuff like that. I released that ship tour already. I still got a bunch of vlogs I got to get out from the Horizon, but the ship tour is out if you want to check that out on the page. And then after the ship tour, I forget whether it was after or before, but I interviewed the cruise director, Paulie. Now, Paulie came back to Carnival. He took about a year and a half off, but he had been a cruise director prior, and now he's, I forget his term for it, but he's a spot cruise director where he'll go in and give the primary cruise director breaks, like 2 months here, 2 months there, and that's what he's doing. So he's on the Horizon for a couple months, and then Georgia, I believe, is coming back on after that. But it was a really good interview. It flowed really well, and he thanked me for the interview and said it's the first interview he's done, and he's looking forward to seeing it. So I told him I'd have it out this week. So sometime in the next few days, you can expect to see that interview that I did with Paulie, the cruise director on the Carnival Horizon, and he'll be coming to different ships. So depending upon which ship you are on in the future, if it's Carnival, there's a good chance. Well, maybe not a good chance, but there's a chance you could end up with Paulie as a cruise director. But if you just like hearing about the cruise life and that path that led them to becoming a cruise director, even if you don't cruise with them, it'll be an interesting interview for you. So Yoli is saying yes. She's hoping for that upgrade ferry to call. Now, upgrade ferry did call me, just on their own when I did an upgrade to the Havana area. And it only cost $300. But that was the Havana area on the Celebration, which, I'm not as fond of because, they don't have a pool. It's not the social scene that it is in the Havana area on the Vista class ships. But, I went from an interior to a cabana, so it's like for only $300, you can't miss out on that. Kevin Tex Keller, did I miss the least favorite port you've gone out of? The least favorite is probably La Romana. Oh, that I've gone out of. Well, La Romana is one of my least favorite ports. I'm not a huge Costa Maya fan, but I've heard recently from a couple people about a couple really good excursions or something they did really good in Costa Maya. So I'm willing to give that a second chance. But La Romana, I don't think offers a whole lot. Amber Cove, that is the last one. And it's not that Amber Cove is my least favorite. It's just every cruise I seem to book now has Amber Cove in it. So, like, I did a great beach excursion in Amber Cove. That was through Shore Excursioneers. It was through booked through Shore Excursioneers, but I think the company's name was Porta Playa Adventures. And basically, it took us to this resort, and the resort was a beautiful resort. I mean, right on the beach, white powdery sand beaches. And this is why you book outside of your cruise line sometimes is because it's not going to be as crowded. So we had to walk outside of Carnival to get to our tour. And, you know, they had a little sign up holding it, Porta Playa Adventures, whatever. We get into the van. There's a total of 6 of us, and there's 3 people working for the company. So there's a guy, you know, sitting in the back seats with us, talking to us about everything that we're going to do and the history of Amber Cove and, you know, everything around it, Santo Domingo, all the different history behind it. And then we had the driver, and then there was this other guy named Anthony. And there's an interesting story about Anthony I want to share with you in just a bit. But he was our personal guide. So it was Aaron, myself. We went to the beach, and he was assigned to us. I mean, there were 6 total. Now, the other 4 people, they did like a scenic tour or, you know, whatever. So they dropped us at the beach first, and we had one dude for 2 people, you know, like basically babysitting us and making sure we had everything we needed. And, you know, I mean, they gave you a welcome drink. They had like rum punch and stuff in the van there. But even the resort, like we were having grouper. I had grouper. I know Aaron had tacos, shrimp tacos and stuff, and they were only like $10. And it was a really big portion, really good food. And the drinks, if you wanted to get drinks, were, I don't know, $7 or $8 each. I know Aaron got a couple pina coladas, and I brought a few beers with me from the ship because I had a little collapsible cooler. There's another tip for you. If you bring like a little collapsible cooler that'll hold like 6-8 beers, you know, and especially if you have the Cheers package and you're not going to use all 15 of your drinks one day, get a couple beers each day, take them back to the room. And then when you go to the port, if you're going to a beach or something like that, have those beers in there. You can go up the Lido deck, you know, fill it with some ice, and boom, there you go. Got 6-8 beers to enjoy out on the beach before you even have to worry about buying any at the beach bar or wherever, and that will save you some money. So really had a great time in Amber Cove. Would highly recommend that. It was under $100 for 2 people to go on that excursion. So really, really good. Now, the thing, Anthony, I wanted to tell you about. So this guy that ended up babysitting us, once he, you know, sat with us and we went to the beach, he was telling us he used to play baseball. Baseball is really big down in the Dominican. Well, when he was like 14, 15 years old, he got offered a contract because he could throw like 86 or 88 miles an hour as like a 14, 15-year-old, which is insane. You know, I mean, that's so fast for somebody that young. And he was a little bit scrawny at the time. So I guess the Florida Marlins offered him a contract for $560,000. They were going to give him $560,000, and down here that would be like winning a lotto, right? I mean, that would set his family for years. But unlike, you know, America, where, you know, you have the freedom as a player to say, yeah, I'll take that deal, or no, I want more money, or whatever. They have managers down here that are basically under the control. The managers control these players. Well, the manager in this case said, no, I want $1 million. And so he got nothing. Basically, long story short, he ended up getting some injuries and things like that, and he never got offered, you know, another contract again. And so he would have been rich, you know, even if his baseball career fizzled out because of injuries or whatever, he would have been rich, and he had set his family up he certainly wouldn't have to work for a tour company and doing what he did. So I felt really bad about that story, and bad for him. But yeah, it's a little depressing there. So that was the story about the baseball career that could have been much better with a happier ending, but probably wouldn't have heard the story. Now, shows, that's another thing that makes the Horizon one of my favorite ships. I think the shows on that ship, all in all, are some of the best shows across the fleet. Amor Cabano, that's probably like my least favorite, but it's still a good show. And what's next? Oh, Soulbound. Soulbound's another really good show. Vintage Pop, another really good show. And then, of course, where it all started, the ship it all started on, Celestial Strings was first here on the Horizon, and Celestial Strings was the second show performed. I think what Vintage Pop, and the next night it was Celestial Strings, and then we had the other shows there. I didn't go and see Love and Marriage, but didn't end up going to see all those shows, and they were all, you know, really good. Did not disappoint. Saw one comedy, and it was okay. I heard the comedy was just so earlier in the week, so didn't check that out as much. Now getting to the casino, because I know Liz and Chris, for example, they're big casino players. So they're interested in the casino. I kind of binge gamble. There were days I didn't gamble at all. And then one day I went in and played craps. It was after, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday night after the show, because, I had done some super chats from people. And I know Liz and Chris are one. I think Cruise Life TV, Sherry and Jay and Tim, I think, we're all, and Tim, here's Tim. Doing super chats. So I said, hey, you know what? I'll take this money. I'll go to the casino. So I go to the casino and I ended up going to craps and I lost, well, definitely more money than the super chats were, but maybe only a couple $100. And I said, you know what? Not really winning here. Let me go to the blackjack table, try my luck there. Luck was, I don't know. I was kind of treading water. Maybe I lost a little bit of money, but then this guy came up, it was just like the guy from, Vegas Vacation or whatever. I could not win anything off him. I ended up, maybe I drank too much, but I ended up losing close to $500 with that guy. So I went and switched, and I went to my Wheel of Fortune game. Liz and Chris will appreciate this. And I played for a little while. Long story short, I pretty much won all my money back because I hit a jackpot. Not a hand payout jackpot, but I won a couple smaller jackpots to where I got most of my money back. And then there was, you could bet sports in the Carnival Horizon. And I bet the Cubs 3 different times. They won 2 out of 3 for me. And then I also bet the Pittsburgh Pirates once, and they won for me. So I bet 3 different sporting events, won 3 out of 4. So all in all, I accumulated 4,000 casino points, which is a good amount of points. I don't know, probably not like what Liz and Chris gets or some of you other big casino players, but I think it's enough to get me some decent offers in the future. And I didn't think I lost any money. Have not started off good on this one. I'm already down $200, but it's just the first day, and we'll see what happens. So, yeah, let's see if there is any other question. Yeah, I did. Scott was wearing the Coach Cruise shirt. I saw him post that on the Coach Cruise page. Appreciate that, Scott. Absolutely. I really do get a kick out of, I know Will has posted that. Tim's posted it. Anytime anybody that has Coach Cruise shirts, and I know Liz and Chris are always sharing their stuff. I love seeing that, if you have the shirt on and you're on a cruise or whatever. So always feel free to do that. If you've got a Coach Cruise shirt or you want to order one or whatever, and you go on a cruise, for sure post that on the Coach Cruise page, Coach Cruise group, because always love seeing that. Seems like everybody else likes to see it too, because I know you're having fun and you're out there on the cruise. So, yeah. T-Boat on the Go says, yeah, Wheel of Fortune is fun. It is. It is. And when you get that free spin thing, and I don't know, I think if I do more slots again, I'm going to go back to my Wheel of Fortune. That seems, and Tim is right. Winning is the fun part. Yes, winning's the fun part. Losing sucks. Don't like the losing part. The winning part is definitely fun. All right. So, covered the shows. I wanted to, the parties. All right. So, start with the 80s Rock and Glow party. We went to that. That was a lot of fun. I did film some of that, but, I got to sing along and enjoy that, to Sean's point earlier. I'm not a big dancer, so, but just singing along and seeing everybody else have fun with it. So the Rock and Glow party was good. The White Night party was pretty good as well. That was in the atrium lobby, but a group of us, we're all watching together. There was like 4 of us, and we were all singing along, and they played, a lot of good songs. Paulie really did a good job of dancing around and having a lot of fun with that. So that was a lot of fun. And then also did the Welcome Aboard party. I'd had a few drinks by the time that Welcome Aboard party had hit, but it was still fun all the same. So that was it for the parties. I told you about the casino. Did Chef's Table and the Steakhouse. I shared some of the pictures from Chef's Table. It was fabulous. The Steakhouse was great as always. So that was all good. Now I wanted to give a shout out to some people from the Alchemy Bar and Guys Pig and Anchor, because they were amazing. I know it's getting a little loud again here, but Alchemy Bar, Diana, Karen, and Sarah, those were the three primary alchemists, Diana and Kara being the white jacket and Sarah being the waiter, waitress that came out to serve people. They all did a great job. Diana and Kara are sweethearts. Really had a great time with them all week. Now, Guys Pig and Anchor, they have a foursome of people that are just awesome. Nalisha was fabulous. There's this guy named Danny. I mean, he was a comedian. Every time it was like last call with him, just joking around with people and stuff like that. There's a gentleman whose name is actually John Wick. So talk to him about his movie career and things like that. Doesn't exactly look like John Wick, and then there's another gentleman they called Ozzy because his real name is like Osmira or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of hard to pronounce. So he's like, yeah, just call me Ozzy. And all four of them were just fabulous. Great pours, heavy on the pour. I met a gentleman by the name of Andy, who's from the UK, and he has the UK accent and everything, and it's just, a barrel of fun. He'd always have people laughing, and one of his things was heavy on the pour. So yeah, that was really cool. So that pretty much covers the horizon there, and that pretty much covers me up to this point. So if anybody else has any other questions, I know Will G just came off the horizon like a week or two before I went on it. Will G says Paulie gets into the white party, and he definitely got into the white party this time as well. Will G says there was another girl from Colombia in the alchemy. That was Karen. Will G. Unless you're talking about Ivana. No, I don't think Ivana. But there was Sarah, and then there would be another girl that would help out just for a small bit. But Sarah was the main one. But I don't think she was from Colombia. Yeah, John and Danny. Yeah, they were both great. And Alicia was great. Everybody in that Guys Pig and Anchor were so much fun. Had quite a few Bloody Marys. I even had a couple Bloody Marys when it wasn't like lunchtime. When it was in the evening, just because I wasn't sure what to get, and or maybe I was a little bit hungry and wanted something to hold me off till dinner. Well, you get all that maple smoked bacon along with your Bloody Mary, and it's just wonderful. And it kind of curbs your appetite until you're ready for dinner. Carnival Cruise Addict says, what are your ports for this cruise? You said Half Moon Cay. So Grand Turk is the other one, and Amber Cove. So I guess because we're all the way up here in New York, and it takes so long to get down there, we're only doing 3 ports out of 8 days. But you know me, if I'm on a cruise ship, I'm happy. So the sea days don't bother me at all. Sometimes I actually like the sea days over, the ports. But I mean, Grand Turk, Half Moon Cay, really looking forward to just getting on the beach there, getting a bucket of beer or 2, and just enjoying that time down there. That'll be a lot of fun at those 2 ports. And then Amber Cove, since I've been there so many times now, I'm not going to keep doing the free pool and things like that. So I'm trying to find different excursions and stuff to go on. There's this excursion. It's some kind of jungle river or something like, I forget what it was. It was through Carnival, and it got really good ratings. It had, like 4.5 stars out of 5 from quite a few people reviewed it. So, I said, well, take a chance on this and hopefully it's good. So that's what we have going on there. And then, like I said, it'll just be sea days and learning this ship. I'm looking forward to, as I mentioned earlier, interviewing Mark Q. I haven't met him yet, so hopefully he's still up for the interview. I cleared that with the Carnival brass ahead of time before coming down here. They were okay with the questions I had to ask, so we'll try to get that set up. Will is saying for Carnival Horizon, he spent most of his time at Pig and Anchor, and that is not a bad place to spend your time. Guys Pig and Anchor, Alchemy. Guys Pig and Anchor, Alchemy. I was back and forth. Those were the 2 bars that you would find me at if I was getting drinks somewhere for the most part, unless it was out at a show or something like that and you didn't have any other option, then, might order a drink there, of course. But, yeah, if you were ordering a drink, and even for, like, dinner, I'm going to come to one of those 2 bars and get a drink and take it to dinner, because the drink you get at one of those bars is going to be far superior to a drink you order in the main dining room. And they let you do that. So try to do that. If that's not something you've done in the past, you'll be happy you did it because you'll have a better drink experience. So any other questions? We have just about 5 minutes. If you've not already hit that like button, I would most appreciate it if you did. That would be super cool of you. And like I said, I think I wrapped up Horizon pretty well. Didn't really go on the Serenity deck other than to, just film it because had the Havana area. The Havana area is kind of like a mini Serenity deck, I think. Plus, it has a pool and stuff, so there's no real reason to go up to the Serenity deck. Didn't do the water slides, didn't do the spa. Did go to the fitness center, not as many times as I wanted to, but I did get in there that first sea day and got a good workout in. So I got one good workout out of 8 days. That's pretty bad, I know, but at least I got something. And so that was pretty bad. I'm trying to think if there's anything I forgot on the Horizon. I think I covered most of it. And the Venezia is like I said, it's like a brand new ship for me. I'm going to have to walk around this and figure out where all these different restaurants. Just while I was trying to find a place to do this live, I walked along on the outside deck and I saw, a restaurant, which I think is supposed to be similar to what they do on sea days with Guys Pig and Anchor, where they have that barbecue. But I don't know exactly what they serve. I remember seeing it when the ship first came out, hearing about what they serve, but I've since forgotten. So that's the cool thing about coming on a new ship that has new things is, it's like you are experiencing it for the first time. So even though they have a lot of carnival themed type drinks and foods that we're familiar with, this bar, as I shared earlier, I'm at the Amari bar. I'll flip the camera around once again to show you. But they are still wearing the white coats. So they have the Alchemy white coats on. They're still shaking up the drinks like you would expect at Alchemy. So Liz and Chris with Carnival Cruise Addicts said, is it like a fake Alchemy? And I'll share this one more time for all the latecomers. So this Amari bar, there is the Alchemy favorites right there. You see Martini Seduction, you see Perfect Storm, you see the Remedy, you see Spicy Chipotle, and then you see at the bottom there, Cucumber Sunrise. They have a lot of the Carnival Sun, and then So then we have here the Italiana menu. We got the Negroni there, the Amalfi Martini, which is what I'm drinking, the Italian Margarita, the bitter Giuseppe, I guess that says, pineapple rum Negroni, and what's that one on the bottom? Pistachio Martini. I didn't see that one. That one sounds kind of good. T-Boat on the Go, did you book Viaggio for dinner this week? As a matter of fact, that's a great question, T-Boat on the Go, because we were supposed to go to Viaggio tonight, but my stomach's a little unsettled, so I was like, I moved the booking to Wednesday for Viaggio. But yes, I do plan on going to Viaggio. Tim, yes, Anita is on the cruise with me. Kimberly, enjoy your vacation. Live in the moment. Thank you so much for that, Kimberly. Good to see you on. And is the Coach Cruise on the menu? No. The Coach Cruise is like that secret underground bar. You have to ask for it by name. Actually, only a handful of bartenders will even know what you talk about if you say Coach Cruise. But yeah, it's for those people that don't know, 2 ounces Patron, 1 ounce triple sec, 3/4 ounce lime juice or 1 ounce lime juice, depending upon how sour you like it, and then 1 ounce of the Monin spicy mango syrup, spicy chipotle mango or something like that, and shake those all up together, and you got a great drink. Tahine. Diana was putting tahine on the rim to make it even a little bit spicier for those people that like it even extra spicy. When I was getting my drinks, that particular drink on the Horizon at the Alchemy bar. Well, Anita's not even here. Carnival Cruise asking is can we get Anita on? I did get a tiny bit of Anita on, just walking around earlier today, and of course we'll do some excursions and things like that. So I'm sure you will definitely see Anita in some vlogs. But she doesn't like being on the camera at all. So I've kind of just gotten to the point where like, okay, I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want to do. So, so Cheryl, I will do that. Ben, thank you. He's saying enjoy your cruise. Tim, I will do that. And Cruise Life TV, we made the pistachio martini on Sunday. You need to try it. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? I don't know how I missed that one when I was looking at the menu, but I like pistachios, so that seems like something that I would try. All right, so we just hit the 1 hour mark. I want to thank everybody once again for tuning in. And I don't know, my math is not so good, but this is an 8-day cruise, and this is the first day. So I think that means I will be coming to you live again from the Venezia before I get off the ship. Is that correct? Can somebody do the math for me on that? But I was trying to think like, will I be off the ship or on? But if this is the first day and it's an 8-day cruise, that means I'll be on the Venezia still Tuesday night next week, right? I think so. I don't think my math's that bad. So I think I will be coming to you once again. Yoli, thank you for that. She says, enjoy the cruise, feel better. I mean, I don't feel bad right now, just a little, whatever. So, yeah, North Shore Travelers. Eric says his wife is the same. Will G, have fun. Tell Nita I said hi. Okay, yep. I will definitely say several of you out there saying hi. And then Cruise Life TV, looking forward to your reviews. Yep, I will have reviews and all that good stuff. And again, thanks, everybody. Thank you so much. And again, if you haven't hit that like button on the way out, please do. And if you're not subscribed, where you been, hit that subscribe button while you're at. And we will see you all later. We'll see you next Tuesday, probably from the Carnival Venezia. All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.